Many people living with albinism had to endure many misperceptions and abuse throughout their lives. Now, Mpho Tjope wrote an informative book titled Life with Albinism Filled with Pearls. The book aims to change the negative ways people look at those who are different. Mpho joins me in studio to talk more about the book. Mpho, good morning. Thank you very much for joining me.
Good morning. Thank you.
Let's talk about the journey of putting this book together, because you've spent a lot of time talking to people that have albinism. And it's interesting that you've also managed to talk to people that live in Tanzania, in different parts of Africa. What has that experience been personally for you like?
It's been, firstly, for me to write it, I was thinking that there's most of the time it's about negativities and it's not about something that is positive. If somebody graduates or is in business with albinism, is never maybe publicized. But I was thinking, the amazing thing is that there are challenges people are facing in different countries. And so I was thinking I couldn't be just a book about me, needed to actually have people with different experiences, and some are killed for just having albinism.
Some of the myths and the perceptions that you deal with in the book, just share some of that with us in those interviews, in the experiences, and even writing the book, your own personal experiences.
My one that comes to mind is that when we die, we disappear, and it's also covered. But then another one is that we are very lucky. I mean, people come to you and shake your hand and suddenly think they'll win a lotto. I mean, I could have won it first if that was the case.
That's so funny, because if you were shaking your own hands, you could win the lotto. That's ridiculous. We can find the humor in it, and you've had to find the humor in it.
Sure.
But the reality is that, and this is one of the interesting things you mentioned about, we don't talk about the success stories and the victories, but I would argue that people that have albinism don't do it themselves either. We don't. For example, the success of you putting a book together, it needs to be praised so that we know that whether you have albinism or not, you can be successful.
It's true. And also, the one other important thing is that especially people who are in township and rural areas, the challenges is we rely on the media to actually feed us. And if stories like this come through, then somebody can say, well, I can make it. If he made it, then I can do it. And then change the mindset of maybe, I would say, self-pity or low confidence, and then be a person who's actually able to say, no, I'm going to go through challenges and actually reach my victory.
What do you want the reader to take away? Because I remember about 9 months ago or so, I had an interview with the Albinism Society of South Africa. And there was a lot of talk about traveling around the country and educating people and making sure that we dispel some of these myths. There's one coming up now in June as well from the cultural linguistic community. They'll be traveling to KZN. What do you want the reader to take away from this book?
The book is put in a way that it makes the viewer, or rather the reader, travel with the person who's in this book, in a sense that when somebody says words that are hurting, then somebody would be able to put themselves in that situation. And it also talks about many things that people would actually have, like maybe dating, or it even talks about school or university. So there's a lot of things that a viewer would take, and most importantly, even people without albinism would be able to take inspiration and will be able to take that challenges are there, but one can actually overcome whatever challenges that we face.
And more importantly, that people that have albinism are ordinary people like anybody else.
That is correct.
In the book, you also focus a lot on religion and faith.
Yes, I'm a Christian, so my religion is, or my belief is that we are all made in the image of God, and so it is very important that one gets that, and also people who are actually in different situations are able to get that actually I am the image of God, and if somebody is thinking low of me, then that's actually a problem that they have to face. But then I know my worth, and that I think is very important, because it's a challenge that we need to overcome, and it's a societal problem, maybe I would say, because even people with maybe dark skin, they feel that I need to tone my skin to be,
and it does happen in society now.
So it's important that one see their beauty in whatever that they are created to be.
Describe the context for me, or put me into the picture in terms of the actual title on the jacket of the book. Life with Albinism Filled with Pearls.
Yeah, I mean, pearls are formed from a very negative, I would say, formation in a sense that, yeah.
It's actually an irritation.
Yeah, it's an irritation that comes through, and then out of that comes something beautiful. And somebody, when they are wearing pearls, you can almost not think that beauty can be formed from something that was negative. So it needed to, it made sense for me to have a book like this there that I can actually say no, or the reader would actually be able to take back and say, look, there are challenges with albinism and that we should not shy away from, but one can overcome them, and that's very important.
Mpho, very quickly, I know you want to travel around South Africa and educate communities. Quickly talk to me about that project that you're planning.
My thinking is that, especially if one goes to schools around South Africa and talks about this, because a whole lot of people say that, wow, I didn't know this, I didn't understand this. So there's a lot of, and again, if we look at posterity in terms of the next generation, we need to look at schools and changing mindset and correcting perspective from school. So that is important.
Mpho, where can people get hold of you? Is there a website, very quickly?
Yes, it's www.mphoTjope.com. So it's MPHOTJOPE.com.
Okay, as simple as that. You can log on to the website www.mphoTjope.com to find out more about the book, but also he's a motivational speaker and an author, so go and get it. It's a book called Life with Albinism Filled with Pearls. I'm sure off the website you can also order the book. Very fascinating read. We're taking out a break, you don't go anywhere.